What's going on, guys? The WWE fan guy coming at you with another video today. And today, since we're pretty much, what's today? Wednesday? Like 4 days away from Wrestle freaking Mania, guys. WrestleMania, guys. We're at the eve already of WrestleMania, guys. WrestleMania 34. And today's video is very exciting, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. And this is somewhat kind of related to the video I did earlier, but that was more WrestleMania than best WrestleMania moments. But this video is gonna be top WrestleMania matches. So yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out my WrestleMania top thing with the top 10 WrestleMania moments, go check that out. But that was moments. Today, this video is WrestleMania matches. So yeah, guys, let's start with number one. We're gonna go 10 through 1. These are my top 10 best WrestleMania matches of all time. And starting with number 10, Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. Was supposedly Ric Flair's last match, and it was, as a WWE star. Ric Flair put on his match of a lifetime. He was 61 years old when he fought Shawn Michaels. He's 68 now. But a 61-year-old putting on a pretty good match. And not only if the match was good, it delivered on the emotion. It delivered on the intensity. It delivered on all that drama itself. I remember when I watched it, I was pretty young. Um, and I really didn't understand, but I got kind of emotional when I watched that match. It was pretty, you know, uh, a drama match. It was a pretty emotional match, but it delivered in all stages. The emotion, the drama, the excitement, the intensity, all those phases. It it symbolizes what WrestleMania is. It symbolizes how WrestleMania is that big, and that match itself just symbolizes how WrestleMania, symbolizes just how WrestleMania is special. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's my top. That's the number 10, and that's one of my favorite matches of all time. Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. But yeah, that's number 10. Let's go through number 9. Number 9 is Chris Jericho versus Triple H. I think this is for the undisputed title. I think this was a great match. I think during this time, Jericho was a big heel. He was barely an upcomer during this time. You see Stephanie McMahon in the middle of that. She was barely meeting Triple H. But this match was great. I think Triple H was a rising star during this time. And they were both kind of trying to make a name for themselves, and it delivered in all phases, and it was a great match. And I think it should be on one of my favorite matches of all time. Something that I always think when think about is WrestleMania. I think of this match and other matches, and just a great match, and just to see how these guys grown to be legends now, and it just symbolizes in this match. It was great, and it was a good story itself. So yeah, that's number 9 for me. Number 8 is Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart was a match for the ages, and a match that changed history forever. Some say they had their history with the Montreal Screwjob. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels had their real life stories about that, and it's crazy. They both have a grudge towards each other, and the matches, and in this match they met at WrestleMania. You know, um, Bret Hart was already a comer. A guy that was already seasoned in the WWE. He had Shawn Michaels still trying to make his name for himself. A guy that had a lot of talent during this time. Shawn Michaels was a great talent in WWE, and this match had so many emotion and in reality. They they really know how they felt about each other, and that's what make the match more great. Because in real life they didn't like each other, and it took them a while for them to settle their differences, and but the match itself was awesome, back and forth match. In the end, Shawn Michaels did pull it off though, and it was just an awesome match itself. And I think uh, both these stars put on a great match, and they both Bret Hart, should be proud. He's a legend himself, and you know he has he was a good heel. So was Shawn Michaels. He was a heel during that time. But I can't remember who was a heel during this match. I remember I checked it out, the match, but I never really checked out the storyline for the match. But I remember I watched it. It was a great match, back and forth match. Both these characters were really, similar style, similar talent. Um, do I think Bret Hart kind of turned in by Shawn Michaels a little bit? Yeah, he's this upcomer. A lot of hype towards him, and yeah. So yeah, I thought the match itself was great. The number 7 will be another Shawn Michaels match. Him and Kurt Angle. Another match that really was good. Um, he had the submission machine versus the super kick, and it was an awesome match. Remember, I watched it. It went back and forth, back and forth. Um, it delivered in all phases, and it was in the end, Kurt Angle did prevail in this match. I remember watching it. Um, he pretty much hurt. It was like when I watched it, he pretty much legitimately hurt his foot, leg, and during that time, that's what I thought. But that's how great Shawn Michaels is as a he can sell a move. Uh, he's just one of the best sellers. He's one of the best wrestlers of all time, and it just proved how good he is in the ring, and it proved how good, especially Kurt Angle in the ring. Not to mention being an Olympic gold medalist, pretty much a real wrestler, a real grappler. Um, he proved it in that ring. He's such an unreal talent, and it just proves how these both talents are good. They're pretty good legends and good in that ring, and they proved it in that match. And it was just a great match. A match that was exciting from the get go and proved it all the way to the end. And that's one of my favorite matches of all time. Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. Number 6 is Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Bret Hart had a lot of had a lot of heat during this match. Stone Cold Steve Austin was getting his stardom. He had the face. He was a face. Um, it was a big match. Honestly, it was a big match. Uh, when he has him on that submission, see all that pouring blood out of Stone Cold Steve Austin's face. It really proved that this match, they both wanted to to put on a great match, and they did. It showed it in that match, and it was an awesome match itself. And Ken Shamrock was a referee, and I think that was pretty much the highlight of that match. Holding him in that submission, blood all over his face, and and his face pouring in blood. It just proved that how good these two talents were. That's number 6. Number 5 is um The Rock and John Cena. The Rock versus John Cena. WrestleMania 28. And a lot of people won't have this on the list, but I will have this on the list because this is all about WrestleMania. WWE is an entertainment company. WWE always proved that this WrestleMania delivered as the hype, delivered in their entertainment. But did the match itself was good? It was good to me as an entertaining value. But was it good as talent? Yeah, I think it was good because I think The Rock proved that he still had it in the ring. There were some botches in the match, of course, but as a first time ever, it wasn't a first time ever. They fought twice. at Wrestle 28 and 29. Yeah. So but as a first timer, it delivered. I think both stars. You had this Rock that was already a legend, and then you have this upcoming star. No, he wasn't upcoming. He was already a star, building his legacy, building as one of the biggest wrestlers in WWE, and that was John Cena. I think it delivered in the storyline, it delivered in the excitement, it delivered in the epicness, it delivered on those phases. And if you mixed out together, it makes it a good match. So I will put that at my top 5 list. And yeah, like I said, WWE is all about entertainment, guys. You gotta just it's all about entertaining, and it delivered. You had these two polarizing characters. You're gonna get a big match like that. You're gonna get a good match. So yeah, I put it in that way. I put it in that way, honestly. So that's why I have it on my top 5 list. So yeah, that's number 5. And number 4, this one was also great. You had these great characters, great personalities. The Rock versus Stone Cold. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't the last match. This wasn't when it was Stone Cold's last match. This was, I think, WrestleMania 17 when Stone Cold turned heel and joined Vince McMahon. And then that's when Jim Ross was like, "Oh my God, he sold his soul to the devil," and all that, and that was the biggest lines in Jim Ross' career. Honestly, I remember. Honestly, yeah, it was a good match though. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't get bigger or anything that. It delivered in all phases. It delivered in the build up. It delivered in the match. It delivered towards the end. I think a lot of people don't like the end because of Stone Cold heel turn, but the match itself saved it, and it was a great match in my opinion. So yeah, I put that on my top 4. It had a special moments, and it delivered it as well as a good match. That's one of the biggest WrestleMania matches in history. So yeah, that's number 4. Number 3, I'm not. I look a lot of people's list before I get into this match. Uh, a lot of people don't have this match. Triple H versus the Undertaker, end up an era match. And I was like, how can this? How can they not put this in the match? This match changed the complexion of history. It changed the complexion of uh, wrestlers in the past, and it changed the complexion itself. You got these two guys, the last two guys that still put on matches. The last two from the Attitude Era, from the Ruthless Aggression, and uh, and yeah, it was and these two still fight to this day, and you had these two guys that will ever lace up those boots to ever face each other. You're never ever gonna get that again, honestly, because these are the last two guys from that generation that really, you know, were gonna put on a great match, and they did. They're the last two generation to ever face each other. Add to Shawn Michaels in that mix as a special referee that's special, and it was the end of an era. It was an end of an era towards their era, and then it really opened the doors for the new era. And I just think that itself is very, it's very change of history, and also it's also sad. It's very emotional, but it's the match itself was great. The Hell in a Cell match. You had Shawn Michaels, helping out Triple H and helping out Sweet Chin Music to a pedigree that was awesome, and you know, you see towards the end where Triple H is giving him a suck it sign, and then it's the last chance. I'm not gonna beat you, but I'm not scared of you, But yeah, I just thought the match itself was great, and very, very, very great match in my opinion. But yeah, that's number 3. Number 2 is The Rock versus the Hulk Hogan. A lot of people will have this on there, but then again, they probably have it lower. But I think this really changed the history as itself because it was a passing of the torch. Yeah, the Hulk Hogan that was been around for a long time, been the face of the company for a long time, passing the torch uh, to the Rock. That was a really big history, and not to mention um, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, been the face of the company for so long, to only pass the torch and to the Rock, that he was gonna be the new face of the company, was really, really, you know, change of history. And the I remember watching that match. The crowd never stopped cheering. I mean, the match itself was okay, but the crowd was on point. Oh man, they never stopped yelling and never. That's what you heard through the whole match, is that crowd. I think we never ever get a crowd like that, especially through a whole match being that loud and loud and loud. It was just a match itself that would never have that kind of cheer again, in my opinion. But it was an awesome match, and I'll never forget it. And just the two guys that you never see that would ever happen, but it did happen. And just a lot of people don't think about it and try to digest it. Know what I mean? But yeah, I have it in my top two because it was a good match. It was an awesome match, and a lot of people probably won't agree with me, but I liked it. I liked it a lot, and it was a good match. And yeah, but it didn't really change the history of WWE during that time. But yeah, I have it number two. And then my final one. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? It's gonna be Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. What can I say about this match? He had freaking Undertaker jumping off the freaking ring, hitting the camera guy. He had Shawn Michaels doing the switch up music, hitting doing a freaking elbow to the table, and the exhaustion. You had the fate where you had the Undertaker getting exhausted, getting those face expressions, getting those fatigue. It delivered in all those phases, and it was a great wrestling match. A wrestling match that I would never forget. A wrestling match that delivered in all phases. Uh, this was the very first one. I think this was WrestleMania 25, and I think it was way better, especially the WrestleMania 26 has more stakes involved. Though it was career, I guess career versus career, or no, career versus streak, and unfortunately, Shawn Michaels lost that match. I think that match had more emotion, but I think this match had better action. I think this match delivered in all phases, and I just think this match was awesome. But yeah, guys, uh, this match was just a great match, and it delivered in all phases. And I think, in my opinion, it deserves to be number one. It had all the entertainment value. It had all that main event little um, stuffed into that match. It delivered in all phases, and towards the ending of their primes right here, they laid it all on the line. They wanted it. They both wanted it to win this match, and they laid it all on the line. It was a great match, and I'll never forget this match. Just never got bored with this match. It was just a great match. The emotion, the match itself, the action, everything was great about it, and that's why it's my number one, guys. But yeah, guys, this is my top 10 list of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of my list of my top 10 WrestleMania matches of all time, my top 10 best WrestleMania matches of all time. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This is the WWE Fan Guy. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, this is my top 10 list of best WrestleMania matches of all time. Tomorrow, I will be doing a video tomorrow after NXT. Maybe I think it's gonna be NXT predictions, and then Thursday will be my WrestleMania 34 predictions. So look out for those videos, guys. But then again, the WWE Fan Guy signing out, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye.